Capricorn, Capricorn. You're entering a phase no one can stop. Number 5 changes everything. Capricorn, do you feel it? This completely different energy around you? As if something has fundamentally changed in the air you breathe? As if an invisible door has opened, and now you are entering completely new territory? It's not imagination. It's not empty hope. It's real. And it's happening now. Because you, Capricorn, are entering such a powerful, inevitable, cosmically aligned phase that literally no one can stop you. Not even the people who sabotaged you. Not even the circumstances that brought you down. Not even the obstacles that seemed insurmountable. Nothing. Nobody can stop what's coming for you right now. And I know you're tired of empty promises. I know you've heard 1,000 times that your time will come, and you kept waiting, working, building alone while watching others receive what you deserved. I know your faith has been tested to the limit and beyond. But this time it's different. Because this time it's not about effort. It's not about working harder. It's not about proving anything to anyone. It's about the universe finally recognizing everything you've silently built, all the weight you've carried without complaint, all the persistence you've maintained when everyone expected you to give up. Today I'm going to reveal 5 undeniable signs that you've entered this unstoppable phase. And when we get to sign number 5, prepare your heart. Because it will completely change everything you thought you knew about your future. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, because this video is for you to finally understand. Your time has come, and nobody can stop it. Let's go. Capricorn, the first sign that you've entered this unstoppable phase is something you may not have put into words yet, but you feel it viscerally. You're no longer willing to play small. You're no longer willing to shrink yourself, to diminish yourself, to accept less than you deserve just to make others feel comfortable. And that's revolutionary for you. Because throughout your life, you've been the kind of person who accepted starting from the bottom, who didn't mind doing the dirty work, who had the patience to build brick by brick while others wanted shortcuts. You've always been humble, always been realistic about your limitations, always been the one who understood that success takes time. But humility turned into self-sabotage. Realism turned into you selling yourself short. Patience turned into you accepting crumbs when you deserved the whole feast. How many times have you accepted positions below your qualifications? How many times have you been in the back of the room when you should have been leading? How many times have you let less competent people overtake you because you were waiting your turn, being patient, or paying your dues? And you know what's most painful? That you did it consciously. You watched people with half your experience, half your dedication, half your integrity rise while you were left behind. And you swallowed it. You justified it. You told yourself, my time will come, while you watched your time repeatedly pass to people who didn't deserve it. But now something has changed. Something fundamental has broken inside you. And you can't do that anymore. You can't squeeze yourself anymore. You can no longer pretend to be satisfied with positions that are light years below your true potential. It's as if you've spent decades walking hunched over to fit into small spaces, and suddenly your spine straightens. And now you realize you are too tall for these low ceilings. You are too big for these cramped rooms. You are too powerful for these limited roles they offered you. And for the first time, perhaps in your entire life, you are saying no. No to mediocre opportunities. No to people who want your expertise but don't want to pay you your worth. No to situations where you give 100% and receive 10% recognition. And you know what's most frightening and liberating at the same time? You're not saying no out of anger. You're not saying no out of resentment. You're saying no with a quiet, unwavering certainty that you deserve more. And that more isn't greed. It's simply what corresponds to what you're truly worth. This is the unstoppable phase beginning. Because when Capricorn finally recognizes its own worth, when you stop accepting less, when you stop playing small to accommodate fragile egos around you, you become a force. You become unavoidable. You become someone the universe can no longer ignore. And people will notice. They're already noticing. They'll feel the change in your energy. They'll try to make you go back to the small box where you fit. They'll accuse you of being arrogant, too ambitious, of having changed. And you will smile. Because you haven't changed. You simply stopped pretending to be less than you are. The second sign that you're in this unstoppable phase is almost cinematic in its precision. The people who are blocking your path, actively or passively, are being removed from your life in ways you couldn't have orchestrated. And it's not subtle. It's dramatic. It's as if the universe has finally said enough and is clearing the board for you. Let me explain something about Capricorn that not everyone understands. You are too loyal for your own good. When you build a connection, professional, personal, familial, you maintain it. Even when that connection is harming you. Even when the person on the other side is actively working against you. Even when you know you should cut it off, that you should leave, that you should protect yourself. You stay. Because you're not a coward. Because you believe in solving problems, not running away from them. Because you were taught that giving up on people is weakness. That loyalty is a virtue. That persistence is always rewarded. But how many times has your loyalty been abused? How many times have you given chance after chance to people who never changed? How many times have you stayed in toxic environments because you believed it was your responsibility to make it work? And here's the brutal truth. While you stayed, these people were blocking you. Blocking your opportunities. Blocking your growth. Blocking your light. And you couldn't leave because your integrity wouldn't allow you to abandon commitments, even when those commitments were destroying you. But now the universe is doing the work you couldn't do. And it's doing it in ways that take the blame off your shoulders. That boss who sabotaged you for years? He was transferred, fired, or simply left. That colleague who stole your credit? He was exposed or moved to another department. That relationship that held you back? It ended in a way that you didn't have to be the villain. That toxic friendship that drained you? It dissolved naturally, without drama. It's as if the universe is saying, I know you would never cut these people off because you are too responsible, too loyal, too honest. So I will cut them off for you. I will clear the way because you deserve to move on. And these people were in the way. And you may be feeling a strange mix of relief and guilt. Relief because you're finally free. Guilt because part of you still thinks you should have done more, tried harder, persisted more. But let me tell you something. You did more than enough. You gave more chances than anyone deserved. You carried burdens that weren't yours. You tried to save unsalvageable situations. And now the universe is rewarding you for all that integrity by removing the obstacles that you, in your kindness, couldn't remove on your own. Because here's the truth about this unstoppable phase. It can't happen with the wrong people in your path. It can't manifest while you're energetically tied to those who sabotage you. It can't fully unfold while you're dividing your energy between building and defending yourself from attacks. So the universe is clearing. It's creating space. It's removing blockages. Not because you asked for it, although perhaps you did in silent prayers, but because you deserve it. Because you've paid off every karma. Because you've done everything right. And now it's time for you to receive without interference. The right people are staying. The wrong people are leaving. And you don't need to do anything but observe, be grateful, and move on. The third sign of this unstoppable phase is perhaps the most validating, the most emotionally satisfying. You are finally receiving recognition for the work you did years ago. Work that at the time was completely ignored or even stolen by others. And this isn't small recognition. It's not empty pats on the back. It's real recognition from people who matter, from opportunities that can change everything, from places you've always deserved to be. Capricorn, you know this pain better than anyone. The pain of building something incredible and seeing someone else take the credit. The pain of working twice as hard and seeing someone who worked half as hard receive double the recognition. The pain of being the foundation that supports everything, but that no one sees because it's underground. How many projects have you built where someone else cut the ribbon? How many of your ideas have been appropriated by more charismatic or politically connected people? How many times have you been the ghostwriter of someone else's success story? And like a true Capricorn, you swallowed it. You told yourself, the work speaks for itself. You believed that eventually people would see. You had faith that the universe doesn't forget who really did what. But year after year, you watched the same people rise with their work while you remained in the shadows. And each time it hurt a little more. Each time you wondered if you were doing something wrong, if you should be more vocal, more political, more of a seller of yourself. But you haven't changed. Because you're not fake. Because you believe integrity matters more than image. Because you prefer to be underestimated than overestimated based on lies. And now everything is coming back. Not as you expected. Not through the people who ignored you back then. But through new paths, new connections, new opportunities that are finally seeing what you built years ago. That project you led 3 years ago, and nobody gave you credit for? Someone important has discovered it was you. That work you did anonymously? Your name is finally being associated with it. Those skills you developed quietly? They are being sought after, valued, finally recognized for what they are truly worth. It's as if the universe has kept all the receipts for your work, for every unpaid overtime hour, for every stolen idea, for every minimized contribution. And now it's presenting those receipts to the right people. And you know what's even more powerful? You're no longer desperate for that recognition. You've already proven your worth to yourself. You already know what you're worth. So when recognition comes now, you receive it with gratitude, but not with need. With joy, but not with desperate validation. Because you no longer need others to tell you that you're good. You know you're good. Recognition is just the universe finally putting things in their right place. And that changes everything. Because when you receive recognition from a place of fulfillment instead of need, you negotiate differently. You choose differently. You don't accept any crumbs of validation. You expect the full recognition you deserve. This unstoppable phase is bringing back everything that was denied to you. And it's bringing it back multiplied. Before revealing the last 2 signs, which are the most transformative and powerful, I need to know, are you already feeling this unstoppable phase beginning in your life? Are you already seeing people being removed? Are you already receiving overdue recognition? Do you believe that no one can stop what is coming to you now? Comment below. Say, I believe, if you feel this energy. Say, I am ready, if you are prepared to receive. Because declaring your faith is the first step to fully manifesting this phase. And if this video is resonating with you, share it with that Capricorn who needs to know that their time has finally come. Let's create a community of mountains that are finally reaching their peaks. The 4th sign that you're in this unstoppable phase is something that goes against everything you've learned about how the world works. Opportunities are coming to you without you having to chase them, without you having to prove anything, without you having to beg for a chance. And that's almost unsettling for Capricorn. Because you're used to the opposite. You're used to knocking on 1,000 doors. You're used to proving your worth repeatedly. You're used to working 3 times harder than anyone else just to receive half the recognition. You learned early on that nothing falls from the sky, that you have to conquer every inch, that the world doesn't give anything for free, especially not to you. So you developed this brutal work ethic, this relentless persistence, this ability to keep climbing when everyone else has given up. And it worked. To a certain extent. You built it. You achieved it. You survived. But it also cost you. It cost you your health. It cost you relationships. It cost you moments of joy that you sacrificed in the name of building the future. It cost you so much that sometimes you wonder if it's worth it. But now something is changing. Now opportunities are coming to you. And these aren't mediocre opportunities that anyone could get. These are specific opportunities tailored to your unique skills, offered by people who see your value without you needing to introduce yourself. You may be receiving job offers without applying. Important connections entering your life through impossible coincidences. Doors opening that you didn't even know existed. Influential people noticing you and offering paths that would have taken you years to build on your own. And do you know why this is happening now? For 2 powerful reasons. First, you finally stopped chasing. You finally let go of the desperate need to force everything to happen. You reached that point of exhaustion where you said, I can't fight for every crumb anymore, and you stopped. And it was precisely when you stopped chasing that the universe began to deliver. Because while you were in survival mode, in constant struggle mode, you were vibrating at a frequency of scarcity. And scarcity attracts more scarcity. But when you let go, when you made peace with the possibility that maybe you would never have what you deserve, you changed your frequency, and you started attracting abundance. Second, the work you've been doing quietly all these years is finally being seen by the right people. Not the people you were trying to impress, but the people who truly matter. The people who have the power to open doors. The people who recognize excellence when they see it. You planted so many seeds without expecting a harvest that now entire trees are growing in places you don't even remember planting them. Your work created ripples that reached people and places you never imagined. And now those ripples are returning like tsunamis of opportunity. And here's the test for this phase. Will you accept it? Or will you sabotage it because you think it's too good to be true? Or because you feel you don't deserve it when you didn't fight for it? Because Capricorn has this problem. You sometimes only believe in things you've earned through blood, sweat, and tears. When something comes easily, you're suspicious. When something is offered without a fight, you question it. But this phase is teaching you something revolutionary. You deserve to receive easily. You deserve to be chosen. You deserve things to flow for you because you have already paid the price. You have already worked hard. You have already proven your worth 1,000 times. Now is the time to receive, without guilt, without questioning, without feeling like you're cheating because you didn't have to fight. Opportunities are coming your way because you are finally ready to receive them, because you are finally vibrating at a frequency of deserving, because the universe can finally give you what you have always deserved without you blocking it through overwork or lack of self-worth. Accept it. Receive it, and let this unstoppable phase take you to places you built with hard work, but that you will reach with grace. And now we come to the fifth and most transformative sign of all, Capricorn, the sign that changes absolutely everything. Prepare your heart, because this revelation will reorganize your entire understanding of who you are and what you are capable of. You are finally trusting yourself more than you trust any pre-established system, structure, or path. And for Capricorn, that's not just change, it's revolution. Let me explain why this is so massive. You are a Saturn sign, the sign of structures, hierarchies, and systems. You were raised believing there is one right path. You study, you work hard, you climb the ladder, you follow the rules, and eventually you reach the top. And you follow that path. Religiously. You did everything right. You paid every debt. You respected every hierarchy. You worked within the systems, even when the systems were unfair, because you believed that eventually the system would reward you for your discipline and loyalty. But he didn't reward you, did he? Or, at least not in the way, or at the time you deserved. You saw people breaking the rules and thriving. You saw people taking shortcuts and getting there first. You saw the system rewarding charisma over competence, politics over performance, connections over qualifications. And that broke you in a silent and profound way. Because you believed in the system. You built your entire life around this belief that if I do everything right, I will be rewarded. And when the system failed you repeatedly, it wasn't just disappointment. It was an existential crisis. But now something has changed. Something fundamental has broken within you. And for the first time in your life, you are looking at the systems, at the structures, at the right ways and saying, no, I'm going to do it my way. And this isn't teenage rebellion. It's not you being irresponsible or impulsive. It's you finally recognizing a devastating yet liberating truth. You are more powerful than any system. You are more capable than any prefabricated structure. You don't need their path. You can build your own path. You may be experiencing this in several ways. You are considering starting your own business after years of being a loyal employee. You're thinking of throwing away your safe career plan to pursue something that truly ignites your passion. You are questioning rules that you have always followed without question. You are creating your own structures instead of trying to fit into the structures of others. You are finally prioritizing your vision over the approval of authorities. And that scares you. Because a Capricorn without external structure seems like a Capricorn without solid ground. You've always derived security from hierarchies, from systems, from proven paths. And now you're leaving the trail for uncharted territory. But here's the revolutionary truth. You have always been the structure. You have always been the mountain, not the climber. You have always been the system, not the follower of the system. You have always had the power to create, not just to follow. You just didn't know. Because you were taught from a young age that your worth lay in your ability to follow, to obey, to persist within structures created by others. No one told you that you could be the architect. No one showed you that you could build your own kingdom instead of serving in the kingdoms of others. But now you know, and there's no going back. This unstoppable phase isn't about you finally being accepted by the systems that rejected you. It's about you completely transcending those systems. It's about you realizing that you don't need their approval, their validation, their opportunities. Because you can create all of this on your own. You always could. You just didn't believe you could. And you know what's most powerful? When Capricorn finally trusts themselves more than external systems. When you finally place your faith in your own ability instead of the benevolence of structures. You become unstoppable. Because no one can stop someone who doesn't need permission. No one can block someone who is no longer walking on paths controlled by others. No one can sabotage someone who has built their own mountain instead of trying to climb the mountains of others. You are entering the most powerful phase of your life not because the world has finally accepted you, but because you have finally accepted that you don't need the world's acceptance. You have everything you need inside you. You always have. And now you finally believe it. And no one, absolutely no one, can stop a Capricorn who finally believes in their own power. This is the phase. This is the change. This is the point of no return. And everything changes from now on. So here is the ultimate truth, Capricorn. The truth that sums up everything you've lived, everything you built, everything you've sacrificed. You spent your whole life building in silence, carrying it in private, persisting without recognition. Because you were being prepared for this phase. For this moment where you finally no longer need anyone, any system, any external validation. Every time you were ignored, you developed self-sufficiency. Every time you were rejected, you built resilience. Every time you had to climb alone, you developed strength that people who always had help will never have. And now you are here. At the top of the mountain, you climbed without help. Looking down and realizing. You no longer need to climb anyone else's mountain. You are the mountain. And this realization, this fundamental shift from I need to prove my worth to I know my worth, is what makes this phase unstoppable. Because you're no longer playing their game. You're no longer competing for their crumbs. You're no longer waiting for them to choose you. You are creating your own game, your own rules, your own kingdom. And when Capricorn finally stops trying to fit in and starts building its own space, the entire universe rearranges itself to accommodate that energy. Because you are the sign of material manifestation. When you decide something, when you commit to something, when you build something, it materializes. Inevitably, unstoppably. And now you've decided. You've decided you deserve more. You've decided you're not going to accept less anymore. You've decided you're going to build exactly the life you want, without asking permission. And nobody, absolutely nobody, can stop it. Capricorn, if you've made it this far, you know this is real. You're feeling it. You're seeing the signs. You're entering this phase. And I want you to know, you deserve everything that's coming your way. Every opportunity, every recognition, every moment of you finally being seen for who you truly are. You paid the price. You did the work. You persevered when it would have been so much easier to give up. And now it's your time. Not as a reward, as restoration. As the universe finally putting you in the place you were always meant to be. So when opportunities come, accept them. When recognition comes, receive it. When your own power is fully revealed, do not doubt it. Because you're not dreaming. You're not being deluded. You're finally living the life you built. And nobody can stop it. Now tell me, Do you believe you are entering this unstoppable phase? Which of these 5 signs resonated most with you? And are you ready to trust yourself more than any system? Comment below. Declare, I am unstoppable if you feel this energy. Because declaring is the first step to fully manifesting. And if this video touched you, share it with that Capricorn who needs to know that their time has finally come. A hug as big as the mountain that you are. Until the next video, warrior. Capricorn sparkles.